Hello, welcome back to Betting Expert and our preview of the Premier League Gameweek 30 matches. 2 have already been played in the form of Aston Villa against Sheffield United and Man City v Arsenal. But we're going to run through the rest of the fixtures, try and give you some trends, some betting advice, look at the odds as well, and also look at the tips from some elite betting expert tipsters. So to get into it straight away with the game between Norwich and Southampton. Now here, Norwich obviously sat bottom of the table, and pre-lockdown they did show signs that they might be able to turn things around a little bit. They won 2 of the last 3 at Carrow Road. However, with Southampton coming to town, it's not going to be easy. Outside the top 4, Southampton actually have the best track record away from home. They've won 6. Which is, like I say, better than the rest of the league. Only the top 4 sides can boast a better away record than the Saints. So here we are going to look at Southampton to win the game as the best bet. And that's coming from our tipster, the Trollman Shah, backing Southampton minus half a goal on the Asian handicap. And next we look at the other game on Friday night where Tottenham take on Man United. Looking at the betting markets, United do go in as the favourites to win this one. Before the lockdown they were unbeaten in their last 5 Premier League games, while Spurs actually lost their last home game 3-2 to Wolves. And incidentally, the last time Tottenham actually lost twice at home was both to Wolves and Man United. So maybe history's going to repeat itself tonight. That's what our tipsters are expecting as well. Looking at the tip of Nemanja87, he's backing Man United minus a quarter on the Asian handicap. Now, just if you're not sure how the quarter bet works, basically that bet will get split into 2. And if the game is a draw, you'll get half of your stake back. And if United win the game, your bet will be a winner. And now we move on to Saturday's games, where we start things off with the game between Watford and Leicester, where home advantage looks like it will be the key in this one. In fact, 9 of the 11 Premier League meetings between these two have resulted in the home side winning. Only the fixture between Birmingham and Middlesbrough has that seen a higher win percentage for the home side. And if you look at last time out they played at Vicarage Road, Watford did win 3-0 against league leaders Liverpool. So we anticipate they're going to carry on that home form. Obviously it's going to be a bit strange with being behind closed doors. The atmosphere won't be the same as it usually is, but we still see there's value in backing the home win in this one. And in fact it's our tipster, the Trollman Shah, who is backing Watford to win at odds of 5-2. Now this guy really knows his stuff. He is the leading tipster in the World Tipster Championship, looks set to seal that victory for this year. And moving on to the 3 o'clock game between Brighton and Arsenal. Now, while Brighton did lose their first ever meeting with Arsenal back in 2017, they're actually unbeaten against the Gunners since then. They do have an unenviable record of having not registered a win in 2020 so far. But seeing how Arsenal were dismantled by Man City, they didn't really show a lot against City that day. So we are actually going to favour Brighton in this one, and again it is the Trollman Shah tipping up Brighton or the draw as a value pick in this one. Be curious to hear your thoughts on that one. Is he right? You let us know in the comments. Next is the game between West Ham and Wolves, where the away side going into this one are actually unbeaten in their last 5 Premier League games, while West Ham have only registered 1 win in their last 9. Of course, there has been a bit of a delay or break between the games, but I do feel that those trends will continue in this one. Wolves will get the win. Pretty confident about that myself, because I'm the one posting the tip on this one. I'm backing Wolves to win at odds of 6-5. And moving on, we go down to the South Coast for the match between Bournemouth and Crystal Palace, where of course Bournemouth are in the relegation dogfight. They need to get out of it if they want to survive in the Premier League. The Crystal Palace come off the back of some really good form pre-lockdown. They won their last 3 Premier League games all by a 1-0 scoreline. So of course they want to try and carry that on, and we are actually tipping them up to do so. It's our tipster Syrup7 who is backing Crystal Palace to win. Incidentally, Bournemouth are level with Spurs in the terms of the lowest amount of clean sheets in the Premier League this season, only kept 4 all season. They also have the lowest average passing accuracy, the lowest number of shots on goal, and also the highest number of shots faced on target as well. So stats, looking at them, we're not really holding much hope for Bournemouth in this one, so it should be a good win for Crystal Palace. Now next we go up to St James's Park and the game between Newcastle and Sheffield United. Of course, Sheffield United were in action in the first game back after lockdown, drawing 0-0 with Aston Villa, and they would have felt very hard done by, and rightly so. Goal line technology failed them in that game. It should have been awarded a goal, but for some reason it wasn't given. Fortunate enough for me as an Aston Villa fan, I'll take that. But Sheffield United obviously want to get back to winning ways, as they are making a push, very unlikely push, or unexpected push I should say, for actually European places in the Premier League. Doing an amazing job, Chris Wilder, fair play to Sheffield United. And it looks like Newcastle away is a pretty decent fixture in terms of getting back to those winning ways. Newcastle are the joint lowest scorers when it comes to playing at home, only scored 12 goals at St James's Park this season. But one shred of hope for Newcastle is they have kept 5 clean sheets in their last 6 games at home against newly promoted sides. So here we do expect a low scoring affair, probably a pretty close one, again like it was at Villa Park the other night. But we are backing Sheffield United on the Asian handicap at the 0 line. That's coming from the Trollman Shah. That's effectively the same as a draw no bet. Now the next game we're going to talk about is Aston Villa against Chelsea, where Chelsea do go in as the heavy odds-on favourites to get the win. Looking at Villa's track record against the top 6, they've only taken 2 points from a possible 63. So that's pretty poor, and I'm not really expecting much to change in this game either. Obviously they kept a clean sheet against Sheffield United, but they didn't score either, so Chelsea are going to prove a much tougher test, and it might just be a case of by how many will Chelsea win by at Villa Park. You can probably tell it pains me to say it because I am a Villa fan, but Chelsea -1 on the Asian handicap looks to be a value bet, and that's coming from our top tipster, Nemaniel87. And another game where it could well be a case of by how many is the game between Everton and Liverpool, the Merseyside derby. Everton are winless in this fixture in 18 attempts. I mean, so Liverpool, of course, did show signs of slowing down before the lockdown, of course, losing their first Premier League game to Watford and crashing out of the Champions League as well. But with the break in mind, they probably will be too strong for Everton, and they should go on and win this one pretty comfortably. Of course, they only need 2 more wins for their first Premier League title, or first top division title in 30 years. So we're not really expecting Everton to put much of a fight in this one. So again, it is a case of by how many will Liverpool win by, and we are going for -1 on the Asian handicap as our top piece of advice. And the final game we're going to look at in game week 30 plus, as I think it's now known, is the game between Man City and Burnley. City, of course, came back to Premier League action in winning ways yet again, thrashing Arsenal 3-0 at the Etihad. Looked pretty comfortable, and they just showed that they are one of the strongest teams in the league, and we are firmly expecting them to continue that against Burnley as well. They've won their last 10 meetings at home against Burnley, scoring twice in each of them, and in the last 5 meetings actually between these two under Pep Guardiola, City have scored 19 to Burnley's 2. So this should always be one-way traffic. Man City should win this one pretty comfortably. And again, for the value pick in this one, we're looking at the Asian handicap, and this time we're setting the line at -3, and we're expecting Man City to cover that. Of course, if they do win by 3 goals and you place that bet, you'll get your stake back. But if they win by 4 or more goals, then that bet will be a winner. And that is a piece of advice coming from the Trollman Shah yet again, who is leading our World Tipster Championship. But what do you think of today's tips? Let us know in the comments below. And if you feel like these tipsters are all wrong, then feel free to post your own tips to Betting Expert, where you can come and prove your knowledge and win cash prizes every month. If you also place a bet, as always, please do gamble responsibly.